morning, everyone. Hello.
We can hear you.
Let's start by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today we are going to study Kāmasobhana Cittas. In English, sense sphere, beautiful consciousness. Up to now we have learned differences between concept and ultimate realities, the classification of ultimate realities. Last week we have learned unwholesome consciousness. How many unwholesome consciousness? There are altogether 12 unwholesome consciousness. 8 greed-rooted, 2 hatred-rooted, 2 delusion-rooted, 8 love-mula, 2 dosa-mula, and 2 moha-mula. Altogether, there are 12 unwholesome consciousness. Regarding greed-rooted consciousness, there are 4 pleasant feeling, 4 neutral feeling, 4 with wrong view, 4 without wrong view, 4 prompted, 4 unprompted. For dosa-mula cittas, there are cittas or always with unpleasant feeling, with anger or dosa. There are 2 moha-mula cittas, uddhacca sampayutta and vicikiccha sampayutta. So altogether there are 12 unwholesome consciousness. I change the order little bit. Usually the second after the unwholesome consciousness, Abhidhamma Sangha mentioned ahetuka cittas. But here I change the order. I would like to go for Kāmasobhana Cittas, sense sphere, beautiful consciousness. This is our today lesson, lesson 3, sense sphere, beautiful consciousness. In Pali, Kāmasobhana Cittani. We have learned in previous lessons about sense sphere. I will remind you again. What are the sense spheres? There are altogether 11 abodes or 11 realms, 4 woeful states, human world, and 6 heavenly realms. divine realms. Those are the we call sense sphere or Kāmaloka. Previous lessons we have already discussed the meaning of Kāmavachara. There are two meanings. Usually we concern one meaning here. Mainly, Kāmavachara means the consciousness that arises mostly in these 11 sensuous realms. They almost arise. Therefore, we call them Kāmavachara. That means we have greed, or generosity, non-hatred or loving kindness, and non-delusion or wisdom. Non-greed we call so and
Your voice is breaking, Bhante.
these according to now let's see how these Sobhana Cittas, beautiful consciousness, arise as wholesome, as functional, as results. So there are 8 Kusala Cittas in 8 Vipaka resultant, 8 functional consciousness, Kriya Cittas. Altogether 24 Kāmasobhana Cittas, sense sphere beautiful consciousness. The first group is wholesome, or we call in simply merits. Also we call Maha Kusala Cittas. Let's concern about the meaning of the Kusala. Dhammasangani commentary gives 4 meanings. Dhammasangani commentary interprets 4 meanings for Kusala. But at the end, commentary mentioned that among these 3 interpretations, 3 are fit for this wholesome consciousness. What are these interpretations? The meanings of Kusala? The first meaning is Kusala means healthy or absence of disease. I will repeat again. Kusala means healthy or absence of disease. Second meaning, blameless. Third meaning is skillfulness or skillful. But here we do not concern this third meaning. The fourth one is productive of happy results or productive of desirable results. Let's summarize Kusala means healthy or absence of disease, the blameless nature that can produce good results, that can produce desirable results, happy results in the future. The nature consists with healthy as well as blameless, at the same time that can produce good results in the future. Those natures are called as kusala. This is the meaning of kusala with regards to wholesome consciousness. While we were learning unwholesome consciousness, we also concerned three conditions: feeling, wrong view, and prompting or unprompting. Here also, we concern three conditions while classifying wholesome cittas, Kāmavachara Cittas, Kāmasobhana Cittas, sense sphere, beautiful consciousness. Two are same with Lobhamula Cittas. We have to shift from wrong view to right view, or wrong view to wisdom. That's the only thing we have to substitute. So it's easy. You have memorized Lobhamula Cittas, greed-rooted consciousness. Now you have to think only one point. That's wisdom. With wisdom or without wisdom. What is the first condition? That's the feeling, Vedana. Regarding wholesome cittas, wholesome consciousness, there are only two types of feelings, whether pleasant feeling or neutral feeling. If it's desirable object, almost it would be pleasant feeling. If it's not a desirable object, the medium one, it should be almost neutral object. For pleasant feeling, in Pali, Somanasa Sahagata. For neutral feeling, Upekha Sahagata. So there are two types of feelings in sense sphere beautiful consciousness. Either pleasant feeling or neutral feeling. The main and the important point is wisdom that decides the strength of the karma. The things. The intrinsic of the ultimate reality. Things as they are. And another main point is understanding the karma and its results. Karma and its and when wisdom without wisdom, we call jnana vipayutta in Pali. With wisdom, jnana sampayutta. Without wisdom, jnana vipayutta. This is the second condition. Third condition is already we have discussed. Prompting, sankharika, unprompting, sankharika. If the chitta arises because of others' encouragement, Bhikkhu Bodhi has mentioned several terms. Yoga, the inducement, and also upaya, an expedient. For example, when you are in somewhere else, your friends doing some wholesome action, but you are not involving in that wholesome action, then your friends come and encourage you. At that time, you go and perform those wholesome actions. At that time, the consciousness arises because of encouragement. But sometimes you feel laziness, but you concern about, reflect about the results of the karma. At that time, after that, you perform your wholesome actions. Encouragement by yourself. Also, we call sasankharika citta, either instigated by yourself or others. When you do wholesome actions without encouragement by yourself or others, at that time we call asankharika kusala citta arises. Those are the three conditions that classify the sense sphere beautiful consciousness. Here, our first group is sense sphere beautiful wholesome consciousness. We also call Maha Kusala Cittas. We also call Kāmasobhana Cittas in Pali, and also Maha Kusala Cittas. Kusala means wholesome. Here, Maha means actually not the highest or greatest. Great. Here, Maha means the Cittas, those Cittas arise in many people, many beings. That's why we call Mahakusala. So we have two names in Pali, Kāmavachara Kusala Cittas or Mahakusala Cittas. Same. So let's classify these Cittas based on these three conditions. So what is the possibility? There are three conditions. Possibility is 8. So there are 4 types of wholesome consciousness with pleasant feeling, with neutral feeling. There are 4 with wisdom, 4 without wisdom. There are 4 wholesome consciousness, prompting or unprompting. 4 prompting, 4 from unprompting. Altogether 8. If you have memorized Lobhamula Cittas, you have to think about only wisdom. You have to remove, in Pali, Ditti, you have to put Jnana in Pali. So let's think about how these Cittas arise in our mind. Usually we can see Thailand, in Myanmar, monks going arms round daily. When you see monks are going arms round in the morning, which type of citta arises in our mind? Buddhist, joy arises in their mind. So which type of citta arises in their mind? That's pleasant feeling. Also
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
sometimes a connection problem here. It drops sometime, time to time. So okay, let's start again. When someone see monks are going arms round in the morning, pleasantful feeling arise in their mind. Also, they concern about the realities of this wholesome action. Concern about the realities of this wholesome action. It's very rare to meet Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha while we are wandering in the cycle of rebirth. Therefore, it's a great chance to see the Sangha. So he or she concern reflects the rareness of the wholesome action and the results of the wholesome action. This wholesome action, the offering or giving, can give good results in the future. That supports to reduce my craving. We should pay attention not for the benefits of others. We should pay attention for the benefits of the recipient. When we pay attention only for our side, sometimes we forget something. We lost something. Therefore, reflect about the both sides, the benefits of others and benefits of ourselves. When you concern about the benefits of ourselves, we concern the result that can view us in future lives. Also, we should concern about the benefits for the receiver. For example, if you want to do wholesome action, but you offer something is unbeneficial for the receiver, you will get the wholesome action, wholesome karma. But when receiver receive that good, it's burden for him. Therefore, also in the ethical sense, we should concern about the advantages of the receiver as well. When we reflect these both advantages in our side and the recipient side, our wholesome action will be more and more strong. Therefore, while we are doing wholesome action, try to pay attention, try to focus for the benefits for ourselves and benefit for others as well as benefit for receivers. Receivers only for offering something, but when you are doing other wholesome actions, concern about the advantages for ourselves as well as the advantages for others. That would be the highest also praised by the Buddha in several suttas. Now we are just in only with wisdom. Now wisdom arises in his mind. When you see monks, the wisdom, the second consciousness, pleasant feeling arise, also wisdom arise, but unprompting, sankarika. Neutral feeling. Suppose Burmese laity. It's not a rare case to see the monks going arms round in their village. When they see the monks going arms round daily, sometimes pleasant feeling arise, but here we concern about the arising of the neutral feeling. Neutral feeling arise, in their mind. Also, they concern about the rareness of the wholesome action, the results of the wholesome action, the advantages for themselves as well as the receiver. After that, they perform their meritorious deeds. They offer rice to the Sangha without any instigation, without any encouragement. Which type of chitta rice? Neutral feeling, upekka sahagata. With wisdom, jnana sampayutta, unprompting, asankharika. Regarding the next one, pleasant feeling arise. Also concern about the karma and its result and the benefits. But you do meritorious deeds because of the encouragement by yourself or others. At that time, unpleasant, wholesome consciousness arise with neutral feeling, with wisdom, unprompting. In Pali, we call upekka sahagata, jnana sampayutta, sasankharika. Now we have discussed 4 jnana sampayutta cittas. Order is a little bit different. Let's move into the jnana viparitta later. It's easy to explain jnana sampayutta altogether. That's why it's easy. We can understand easily with explaining jnana sampayutta first. So there are 4 jnana sampayutta cittas. 2 are with pleasant feeling, 2 with neutral feeling. 2 also with wisdom. With wisdom we discuss for jnana sampayutta. With wisdom, 2 unprompting and 2 prompted. Now let's move into the wholesome, beautiful consciousness that arises without wisdom. When monks are going alms round, sometimes parents offer foods and other requisites. Sometimes kids come to offer, but they do not know about the karma and its result. They do not concern about karma and its result. They do not reflect about the benefits for themselves or receivers. When they see their brothers and sisters are offering foods to the Sangha, just they try and offer something and they join with them. Also, we have seen in Myanmar, when we are going alms round, also kids are very happy to offer foods to the Sangha. Even in the monasteries, when parents offer foods, they also hold their kids, sometimes 1 year, 2 year age kids. They are holding their kids and offer the food. At that time, wisdom does not arise in their mind. They just follow their parents. Sometimes they perform their wholesome actions happily, with joy, sometimes with neutral feeling. Now we pay attention for Jnana Vipayutta, the beautiful wholesome consciousness that arises without wisdom. So there are two with pleasant feeling, two with neutral feeling, two unprompting, two prompting. So let's try to classify in Pali. Pay attention for Jnana Vipayutta, without wisdom. First, with pleasant feeling, Somanassa Sagata. Without wisdom, Jnana Vipayutta. Unprompting, Asankharika. Pleasant feeling, without wisdom, prompting. Somanassa Sagata, Jnana Vipayutta, Asankharika. Next one, with neutral feeling, Upekka Sahagata. Without wisdom, Jnana Vipayutta, unprompting, Asankharika. Last one, neutral feeling, without wisdom, prompting. Upekka Sahagata, Jnana Vipayutta, Asankharika. While we are learning, we first learned for Jnana Sampayutta, then for Jnana Vipayutta. But when we classify, we have to classify first for wholesome consciousness with pleasant feeling. After that, for beautiful wholesome consciousness with neutral feeling. So we will try to classify according to the Abhidhamma Piṭaka again. Consciousness with pleasure, with wisdom, unprompted. Somanassa Sahagata, Jnana Sampayutta, Asankharika. Consciousness with pleasure, with wisdom, prompted. Somanassa Sahagata, Jnana Sampayutta, Asankharika. Consciousness with pleasure, without wisdom, unprompted. Somanassa Sahagata, Jnana Vipayutta, Asankharika. Beautiful wholesome consciousness with pleasure, without wisdom, prompted. Somanassa Sahagata, Jnana Vipayutta, Asankharika. Number 5. Upekka. Beautiful wholesome and number 8, beautiful wholesome consciousness with neutral feeling, without wisdom, prompted. Upekka Sahagata, sense sphere, Sahagata, Vipayuttam, Asang. Pekkāsahagatam Jnana Sampayuttam Sasaṅkārikam. Number 7, Pekkāsahagatam Jnana Vippayuttam Saṅkārikam. Number 8, Pekkāsahagatam Jnana Vippayuttam Sasaṅkārikam. Now you have learned 8 sense sphere, beautiful consciousness, Kāmāvachara Kusala Citta or Maha Kusala Citta. Now it's easy to learn Kāmāvachara Vipāka, sense sphere resultant, and Kāmāvachara Kiriya, sense sphere functional consciousness. In whom do those wholesome minds arise? These wholesome consciousness do not arise in arahants, that arise in worldlings, putujjana, in Srimantara, Sotapanna, once returner, Sakadagami, non-returner, Anagami. So those wholesome consciousness arising worldlings, Srimantara, once returner, and non-returner. Putujjana, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, and Anagami. You will learn about these stages in next lessons in future. Now let's pay attention for the sense sphere, rooted functional consciousness. Here I have mentioned rooted. So there are unrooted functional consciousness we will learn in next lesson. So that's why we should add rooted. Otherwise, someone may confuse with functional consciousness whether they are rooted or unrooted. Therefore, when we are saying about the functional consciousness, we have to mention either rooted or unrooted, especially in sense sphere. In Pali, Sahetuka Kāmāvachara Kiriya Citta or Maha Kiriya Citta. So these Mahakiriya Cittas arise in Buddhas or Pacceka Buddha and Arahants only. I will repeat again. Those sense sphere rooted functional consciousness or Mahakiriya Cittas arise in Buddha, Pacceka Buddha and Arahants only. So what is the difference between Mahakusala and Mahakiriya? Sense sphere, wholesome consciousness and functional consciousness. Both of them doing wholesome, the meritorious deeds. Suppose monks preaching Dhamma, or they also giving some offerings like this. At that time, the beautiful natures arise in their mind. What is the difference of between? That cannot give the results in the future. It does not leave any potential to give the result. That is the difference between wholesome consciousness and functional consciousness. What is the reason for it? Because Arahants have destroyed ignorance and craving completely. They have eradicated ignorance and craving completely, moha and tanha. Karma can give the results by getting the support of ignorance and craving. Without getting support from ignorance and craving, just the mere karma cannot give the results. Arahants have already eradicated ignorance and craving completely. Therefore, although they perform some good actions. Those cittas do not have potential to yield, to give results in the future. That's why we call they are Kriya. Kriya means just function. Kriya means just function. Because Bodhi mentioned that they merely arise. They accomplish only the function. They do not have potential to give the results. After accomplishing their function, the cittas fall away without any remainder. That's the nature of functional consciousness. Similarly, now we can recite easily the consciousness when functional consciousness arise with pleasure, with wisdom, unprompted. Sometimes consciousness, functional consciousness, sense-sphere functional consciousness arise in Arahant's mind, Buddha, Pacceka Buddha, Arahants, with pleasure, with wisdom, prompted. Consciousness arise with pleasure, without wisdom, unprompted. We should memorize that. We should highlight the cittas without wisdom never arise in Buddhas. Without wisdom means jnana vipayutta cittas. Citta, the third wisdom prompted. Consciousness with neutral feeling, without wisdom, unprompted. Functional consciousness with Pali, and some vipayuttam sankharikam. Number 4, somanasasagatam jnana vipayuttam sasankharikam. Number 5, upekkasahagatam jnana sampayuttam asankharikam. Number 6, upekkasahagatam jnana sampayuttam sasankharikam. Number 7, upekkasahagatam jnana vipayuttam asankharikam. Number 8, upekkasahagatam jnana vipayuttam sasankharikam. Those are 8 Mahakriya Cittas. As we already discussed that, when does functional mind arise? I have given example for preaching Dhamma. When Buddha, Pacceka Buddha or Arahants preach Dhamma with pleasure, with wisdom, either prompting or unprompting, sense sphere functional consciousness arise. Not only for preaching Dhamma, while they are doing other wholesome meritorious deeds, at that time, functional consciousness arise in their mind. Therefore, think about how the functional consciousness, beautiful functional consciousness arise in Arahant's mind while they are performing the good deeds with pleasure, with neutral feeling, with wisdom, without wisdom, prompting or unprompting. Now let's move into the results, resultant consciousness. What is the nature of the results? Abhidhamma scholars explain like a seed and fruit. Suppose when we plant mango seed, after a few years, we can see mango tree and that fruits, mango fruits, that ripen mango fruits. Can we find the seed when it has grown up? We can't find it. But it gives only the mango fruits, not apple or not grapes. Similarly, when we perform some wholesome action, still we have craving and ignorance that can give results, that have a potential to give results in the future. So the results are called vipaka in Pali, vipaka citta, resultant consciousness. So what are the results? What is the origin of that result? Origin is the sense sphere, beautiful consciousness, or Mahakusala Citta. Results are Mahavipaka, beautiful sense sphere, resultant consciousness. Also, now you are familiar with those cittas in English and Pali also. So we also we should memorize these sense sphere rooted resultant consciousness arise in only sensuous realm, in Kāmavachara, Kama Loka, Kama realm only. Also pay attention for this word, this term rooted. There are unrooted resultant or unrooted and rooted also. Therefore, here we should mention rooted resultant consciousness. Sahetuka in Pali. Sahetuka Kāmavachara Vipaka Cittani. In other words, Mahavipaka. So these Mahavipaka Cittas or sense sphere rooted resultant consciousness arise in only sensuous world. What are these? 8 cittas, 8 consciousness. Consciousness with pleasure, with wisdom, unprompted. Somanasasagata, Jnana Sampayukta, Asaṅkārika, Vipaka Citta, Mahavipaka. Consciousness with pleasure, with wisdom, prompted. Somanasasagata, Jnana Sampayukta, Sasaṅkārika, Vipaka Citta. Consciousness with pleasure, without wisdom, unprompted. Without wisdom, resulted consciousness. Asankharika. Resulted consciousness with neutral feeling, without wisdom, unprompted. Upekkha-sahagata, jnana vippayo. I have given only one. Happens. I don't know what happens. I think someone has maybe. Sorry for it.
Vandami Bante, can you make Isuru co-host, please?
Yes, I have already made him co-host.
No, Bante, Isuru is not co-host. He might be able to fix this.
I think it's been taken care of, but Izuru, maybe you can raise your hand and then they would be able to make you co-host as well.
Oh, it's okay. I think we are in the end of the lesson. We have to discuss about the Mahavipaka Cittas, 8 resultant consciousness. I think Isuru, could you please give me co-host again, because I have, you are the host now. Could you please give me the co-host? Isuru. So there are 8 types of Mahavipaka Cittas. Somanasa Sahagata, we have already discussed in English. Somanasa Sahagata, Jnana Sampayutta, Asankharika Vipaka. Somanasa Sahagata, Jnana Sampayutta, Asankharika Vipaka, Mahavipaka. Somanasa Sahagata, Jnana Vipayutta, Asankharika Vipaka. Somanasa Sahagata, Jnana Vipayutta, Asankharika Vipaka. Upekka Sahagata, Jnana Sampayutta, Asankharika Vipaka. Upekka Sahagata, Jnana Sampayutta, Asankharika Vipaka. Upekka Sahagata, Jnana Vipayutta, Asankharika Vipaka. Upekka Sahagata, Jnana Vipayutta, Asankharika Vipaka. So there are 8 Mahavipaka Cittas. Today we have discussed sense sphere, beautiful consciousness, Kāmavachara, Kusala, Kāmavachara Vipaka, and Kāmavachara Kriya Citta. In other words, Pali, Mahakusala, Mahavipaka, and Mahakriya Cittas. So there are 8 in each group, altogether 24 Cittas. 8 beautiful wholesome consciousness, 8 sense sphere, beautiful functional consciousness, 8 sense sphere, resultant consciousness. In each group, there are 4 consciousness arise with pleasant feeling, 4 with neutral feeling. Kāmasobhana Cittas. Now it's time for your questions. You can. This is Jan.
Vandami Bhante? Bhante, can you hear me? Vandami Bhante?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sir, Bhante, can you explain? Bhante, can you explain? Since we
Which one?
arise born, child born in mother womb.
Yes, I will explain. And I want to remind something. When someone take a responsible of co-host, please concern not to avoid those some unsuitable things. No, when it happens, it's not good for the class, and we can't do our class properly, with some disturbances. Therefore, if someone take responsibility as co-host, please be concerned about other things, because when I'm teaching, so I'm not easy to involve with those other things, So just I give one example. So you will learn the functions of the wholesome and resultant consciousness in chapter 3. Here, just I want to give an idea. So you know how wholesome consciousness arises, how functional consciousness arises, but it's not clear that how the resultant consciousness arises, especially Mahavipaka. When a being take a rebirth in human realm, that's why I said in simple words, I say born in a mother's womb. A being who takes rebirth in a human realm, in mother's womb. The first citta we call rebirth consciousness, in Pali Patisandhi citta. Rebirth consciousness arise. Those rebirth consciousness are the resultants of previous sense sphere wholesome actions, in Pali Mahakusala. Those rebirth consciousness may be either with pleasant feeling or neutral feeling, with wisdom or without wisdom, prompting or unprompting. So those rebirth consciousness also eightfold, with pleasant feeling 4, with neutral feeling 4, with wisdom 4, without wisdom 4, prompting 4, unprompting 4. That's why I give one example. Taking the rebirth as a human being, these consciousness arise as rebirth consciousness. There are other rebirth consciousness, but regarding this lesson, I want to mention only these 8 resultant consciousness. I think it's clear.
Vandavi Bante.
Please raise a question.
I had a same question regarding that Patisandhi Chitta. That whatever conscious arise at the moment, that is also depend on Kamma Vipaka. So, which conscious arise at the same moment with Kamma Vipaka? So it makes difference.
Could you please explain again?
One of the 8 conscious arises at the time of birth, but it is also accompanied with Kamma Vipaka. So Kamma Vipaka chooses anyone, or it is a resultant?
No. So it's a little bit. I have to elaborate this question. So we classify those wholesome actions as in Pali we call Ukkatta and Omaka. The superior and inferior. I would call superior and inferior.
Okay.
Only the superior wholesome consciousness can give the results with wisdom. Inferior wholesome consciousness cannot give the results with wisdom. Inferior wholesome actions can give only results without wisdom. So this is the answer in summary. We will learn about this consciousness while we are learning about rebirth. This short answer for this question.
Okay, Bante.
So there is a question in the chat box. Could you explain Vichikata Citta briefly? I have already explained in the previous chapter. Vichikata Samputa means someone do unwholesome action with wrong view. Suppose, for example, someone have wrong view that thinking. I have given one example in the previous lesson. God gave everything to the people, to all of us, for our usage. With that wrong view, he or she still, at that time, he or she has wrong view. The wrong view is God has given everything. Everything happens according to God without our effort. So this is just the simple answer for Ditthigata Sampayutta and Ditthigata Vipayutta. For detail, you can watch previous lesson.
Namami Bante, can you hear me? I still confused with this asankarika and sasankarika. Could you kindly explain it to me? What is the difference? Because I think every chitta is prompted. How it become unprompted?
Of the chitta arises because of their speed. We are not able to understand the chittas arising and passing away rapidly. is considered a dream. By others or by yourself. If they arise due to the encouragement or instigation by others or yourself again and again, those cittas are sankharika. Without encouragement, that arise spontaneously, we call them asankharika. That's the ruler. We have to decide whether prompted or unprompted. Therefore, think about the nature, not the arising of the citta. Just citta arise one after another, one after another.
Thiruvan Saranai, I think it's
I think there are no other questions. If so, let's share merits. Also, we have to thank to those who support for preparing flyers and organizing and negotiating everything timely, and also those who involving with live streaming. Therefore, we should thanks to all of them who support to do our class properly. Finally, we will share the merits to devas and all the beings by reciting Kāmasobhana Cittas. Kāmasobhana Cittas devānāgā mahīṭaka viññantaṃ anumoditva ciran rakkhantu sāsanam. Kāmasobhana devānāgā mahīṭaka viññantaṃ anumoditva ciran rakkhantu desanam. Kāmasobhana devānāgā mahīṭaka viññantaṃ anumoditva ciran rakkhantu maṁ. Buddha Sasanam Chiran Tittatu, Buddha Sasanam Chiran Tittatu, Buddha Sasanam Chiran Tittatu, Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu.